Alright, hello everybody, Jade Arrow here, and today we have Spring and SiniX playing against each other as both the Italians. This is an Italian spirit match on Arabia. So, Italians, it's a fun sim to play. I like it. They have archers that they can go for. Late game, they can go with Genoese crossbow and condotiros, and you can also mix in gunpowder if they feel like it. So it's fun to play as. And looking at these maps, I think Spring has the better map. It's it's close, really. He's got both of his gold out to the front, which is not good. And he actually has his third gold over here, which is also out front. So, actually, maybe I take that back. Both of these guys have terrible maps. And I think the only advantage SiniX would have a better map is because of his back gold here. He's got a couple back wood lines, which are great, and fairly large one here actually for Arabia, considering there's two pawns there. But his gold's back, his other gold's far forward. Both of his stones are forward. Spring stones are also very far forward. So both these guys have terrible maps. And fortunately, SiniX doesn't have a lot of hills around his base at all. So, really, archers aren't going to have that much of an advantage if Spring gets some archers to his base, whereas Spring does have a couple hills around his base. It's not too big of a deal. These hills aren't in the most ideal places for archers to be standing on, but there's still a couple around that would make fighting for this gold here really annoying. And there's also these cliffs that go along this entire eastern half of the map, go all the way up there, and SiniX could just wall those up actually pretty easily. And Spring also has a couple around his base that he could wall off, though he'll probably just wall right there if you were going to wall that at all. And right now, both players are just luring in their deer. SiniX lured in, I think he lured two of them in. Maybe he just lured that one. And Spring is luring all of his in. So he's going to have a slight food advantage. And SiniX is instead scouting around to find where Spring is. And
No.
I think he's asking if Spring took his boar. Can you not see that? Oh, wait, hold on. Can you not see this boar? Oh, he can't! Oh, okay. So, I was looking up in the chat, and SiniX asked if Spring took his boar. Spring said no, and he actually didn't. It's right there. He just didn't see it. So, Spring actually has fairly large food advantage at the moment. It's very close in count right now, and SiniX actually has a little more food at the moment, but yeah, Spring is signaling the boar. He's going to be a nice guy. He's going to tell SiniX where his boar is. But yeah, Spring still has 4 sheep left to gather, whereas SiniX only has the 1. So Spring actually does have more food in the long run, and he's sending villagers out to gold right now. Going to build a barracks first, and it's too late to really go for a drush. So, no dress from either player. They're putting their barracks up at about the same time, going up to feudal age at the same time, and they're both going to have the game plan of going with archers. Oh, a nice little optimization there from SiniX. It's going to have some villagers gather that shorefish, and villagers gathering shorefish, wow, I don't know why that was difficult to say, are fastest food income in the game, so may as well do that, because why not? SiniX actually has a lot of food, so he might be thinking of going scouts. He hasn't sent any villagers onto gold, so that probably is his plan. And yeah, there's the stable for it. And Spring already has villagers on gold, so he's going to be going with archers. And, okay, he's sending a few militia forward. He's going to send 3 in and go with man-at-arms. It's a bit late, but he may as well, just to try and see what damage he can do. And there's not really a lot he can do. Maybe he could go up to this wood line, but SiniX could just very easily run back to his TC. And I don't see the archer range for Spring. Okay, there it is. He's putting down the double archer range. And going to place barracks, or not a barracks, a blacksmith as well. There it is. And double archers for him. Scouts for SiniX. SiniX already has 3 scouts out. Has the first attack upgrade on him. Doesn't have bloodlines. Doesn't have the defense upgrade yet. Probably gonna get him soon. But pretty good use from these man-at-arms so far. Idling a couple vills and paying off 2 of those scouts. And Spring did lose his scout in that, and that means his line of sight is going to be suffering a bit. You look on the minimap, there's not a whole lot he actually can't see. He really just knows where his enemy is, not much else. So, late game, he's not going to know where these golds are out to the side, and that probably isn't going to be too big of a deal if this doesn't go to the Imperial Age. But later on, he's probably going to want to scout around a bit just to find where those are, just in case this does end up going late game. And Spring is just going to wall off right here with a couple houses and his buildings, just so his gold villagers are relatively safe. And he's going to wall in his wood line as well. So he's going to make sure that his villagers are pretty safe. And if SiniX wants to do any damage, he's going to have to run through the TC. And even if he does, Spring's already walled. So there's really not a whole lot these scouts can do. Good pick off there from Spring, picking off that weak scout there. And these 2 scouts from SiniX aren't going to be much of a problem. Just a few villagers could fight those off just fine. And an archer range now for SiniX. He's going to be mixing in some skirms and archers. Now sending villagers over to gold. And might put down a second archer range in a minute here once he gets the resource for it. And just now getting the bloodlines upgrade. That will help out quite a bit. But without the what am I trying to say right now? Without plate mail, plate barding, I mean. What am I trying to say? Hold on, I just cannot remember what this is called. But yeah, skill barding. Okay, I could not remember that for some reason. You ever have that moment where you know what you're trying to say, and you just cannot for the life of you remember what it's called? Yeah, that just happened. But anyway, without skill barding, these scouts only have 2 pierce armor, so with a few more archers, they could be shot down fairly easily. But Spring now is denying this blacksmith, picked off a villager, and stopped that blacksmith from going up. Very nice job from him. Just any time that SiniX is not getting his upgrades means Spring has a bit more time that he can exploit those weaknesses on these enemy scouts. And he's going to take this fight now. He's going to lose all of his archers. He's just barely going to miss getting that scout. We brought him down to 8 HP. These scouts all going to stay alive. But Spring's going to get in that corner and do as much damage as he can before these archers go down. He did a bit of damage, but not a whole lot. And he's going to send the spear around. Wonder if he can find that weak scout and get it. It's right there. If he's paying attention, which he's not. But there's that weak scout there. Coming over here with another group of archers. SiniX did wall off that there, so Spring couldn't just sit on this wood line here. Skirm's coming over, Scout's coming over, gonna take this engagement, and Spring is going to lose his whole army here. SiniX is now advancing to the castle age. Spring will be up shortly, and this is pretty close so far. I think economy-wise, they're pretty even. Spring does have a few more vills, but it's not much of a difference, really. And once SiniX gets to the castle age, he's probably going to do elite skirm and come out with some knights, whereas Spring is probably going to go with crossbow. He is massing up the archers just in preparation for the crossbow bodkin arrow upgrade that we'll see as soon as he hits the castle age. And he's keeping all his archers in these ranges. The reason for that is he doesn't want to lose any before those upgrades come in. So he's not willing to venture out towards SiniX space, and he doesn't really want to release them in case they get picked off. But he is going to release those now just to take out these scouts. And he took out 2 of them. And you can see he did take some damage on these archers from those scouts. And he just tries to avoid as much damage as he can before he gets these upgrades. Chain barding now for SiniX, so he's going to have more armor on his knights that are going to be coming out. Spring hits the castle age. We're going to see crossbow, bowsaw, bodkin, all in a row. And there we go, bodkin, bowsaw, and crossbow is going to be out as soon as one of these archers trains. He's going to get that upgrade. And town center there for SiniX, other town center there, going to protect his weakest points of his economy. The knights are coming out. Since he has the chain barding upgrade, he has 4 fierce armor. And crossbow coming out for Spring. And he's not put up a second DC. Okay, he's putting one up right there. But since he put that tower up, he doesn't have the stone for a 3rd DC. And it's fine, he could put that tower there to keep these villagers safe and have somewhere for them to jump into if any enemy archers were to come in. But that could put his economy further behind in the long run. Coming out with some knights now for Spring. And he's doing this to pick off mangonels that he knows are going to be coming. And also the skirms that he assumes are going to be coming. But instead, SiniX has decided just to put his resources into knights rather than create more skirms, and that's fine. he can hold on just fine with these mangonels, but he has to be careful with them so that they don't get picked off by these knights. And Spring is just now getting the upgrades for his knights, whereas SiniX is just missing the second attack upgrade for his knights. So Spring is out-teched, however he does have a lot of crossbow here, and I think they can one-shot these knights. He has ballistics, so it's going to be a lot harder for SiniX to micro these knights and mangonels. And attack ground there for SiniX, completely missing. He does have 2 mangonels out. That could be very deadly against these crossbow. So we'll see how Spring's micro is. He's just staying out of range of these mangonels. And gonna pick off that mangonel before these knights go down. And gonna take an engagement here. SiniX is running away. He doesn't want to lose any knights that he just throws away. He wants to get as much value out of these. And he's gonna take smart fights. There's no sense rushing in to any fights you can't win. So he's just gonna wait until he gets his numbers up, until he gets the mangonels out, and he's getting the stone mining upgrade. And he's going out to stone now with 4 villagers, so he wants to get a castle up. And he's probably going to put it right here on the front. It's a great spot for it. Protects both these minerals and also the front of his base. So a castle right there would be a very strong placement. And he could also come out with Genoese crossbow to deal with these knights. And right now, both these players are kind of just dancing back and forth, just taking whatever shots they can. And right now, these knights are looking pretty weak. These crossbow are doing quite a bit of damage. And Spring is picking off quite a few knights for free, really. Mangonel can't get in range. They have the same amount of range, but with the knights in front and the mangonel further behind, it's pretty difficult for him to get a good shot off. And Spring coming forward with a couple more knights. And he's going to try and pick off the mangonels. I think he needs chain barding in order to make that a lot easier for him. And pretty good shot there from SiniX. He did quite a bit of damage to these crossbow here. That mangonel, however, did get picked off, and villagers are going down. He got 1, got 2, and also got the other mangonel. So Spring is taking some good fights here, as it is. And I'm gonna pick off another vill. Gonna take out these knights. So SiniX is falling behind. He's got idled villagers. These are his stone mining villagers. And he's not creating any more military. And that's because he's going to go up to the Imperial Age. So you look at his resources, he's going up to the Imperial Age. He's got to mark it out. He's going to use that in order to get up to the Imperial Age a lot faster than Spring. Looking at Spring's resources, he's quite a ways away from the Imperial Age, and he's put a lot of resources into his military. He does have a lot of crossbow, though. He's got 52 military. So if he can push this advantage before SiniX gets to the Imperial Age, then he might be able to do enough damage to SiniX's economy that the Imperial Age upgrade won't be of much use to him. And we'll see what he can do. He's got this group of crossbow. He's got this army here. A nice scout. Probably was a misclick from him. But if he breaks up his army, then he could attack both sides at once. A lot of stables going up for SiniX. And he's actually decided to create more knights rather than go up to the Imperial Age. So he was close, he could have gone up, but I think he realized that he was so far behind in terms of military that he was in danger of losing most of his economy. But we'll see if it works. He is going to take out all these crossbow with his knights. He did lose a few of them, but he is going to clean up those. But he sees this army coming over, and now he either needs a lot of knights or he needs a couple of good mangonel shots in order to save him. He is really far behind. I guess not really far behind, but if he doesn't take some good fights, it's going to be over very quickly. Spring back at home, his economy's booming. He's completely untouched. He's got, I think he's got 4 town centers now. And he's got a 25 villager lead. He's got the military lead. So it's not looking good for SiniX. Gonna take a fight here. The knight numbers are about the same. SiniX does have a few more knights. He does have more upgrades. And he is on this hill. So this hill is kind of the saving grace for him at the moment. Gonna take a big fight here. It's not really paying off for him. Spring getting in this choke point here, right on this shoreline. And gonna stand in front of his crossbow with his knights. And this is not looking good for SiniX. He's gonna pull away now. And he's keeping these knight numbers up. And he's just creating as many knights as he can from all over the place. He's gonna put a town center on that gold. I guess Spring just barely can't see that with these knights. But if he moves those knights, he could potentially deny that town center. But all of Spring's knights have gone down. Still has quite a few crossbow here. And SiniX trying to surround as best as he can. And I don't know if he can do it. It looks like he'll just be able to clean up these crossbow. But his knights are... he's got a couple pretty weak ones. But he was able to finish that entire army. Only problem for us is Spring's going up to the Imperial Age. And he's throwing down more stables. He's throwing down more archery ranges. He also has a castle. So he's seen the amount of knights that SiniX has, and could be going with Genoese. Be pretty nice for him, really, with the amount of knights that SiniX has gone for. And SiniX is now moving out with these knights, but the Imperial Age is now in for Spring. Cavalier upgrade coming out.
No.
And I don't know why SiniX is asking a castle there. And Spring's telling him no. I don't know what that's for. But whatever. SiniX is running in with these knights, and he's taking out actually quite a few bills here. So that's not bad. The bill number is now even. But Spring's getting the Cavalier upgrade now. And he's also getting Bracer. And he's running around with these vills. And these vills are to scout the extra golds that he can't find. He did end up finding that one, so he has villagers over there. But look at this wall off for Spring. He's walled off these knights. He's come in. Cavalier upgrades come in at just the right time. And he's going to do a lot of damage to these knights. And SiniX did get up on this hill. So that's nice for him, but it's not going to save him. His Cavaliers are just too strong. And I think now SiniX had better get up to the Imperial Age as fast as he can. He has the resources, but he's not doing it yet. And he's getting up to university, and he has the monastery now, so he has his required buildings. He could go up, and there we go. He's finally clicked up the Imperial Age, but will it be too late? And yes, SiniX does think it's too late. He's just going to call it GG. He lost all of his knights, and that was really the biggest issue. He did do quite a bit of damage to Spring's economy, but he couldn't do enough and was just too far behind. So well done from Spring. That was very nice play. He took some good fights and pushed the advantages when he could. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you amazing people. And I will see you all in the next video.